Clarkston, Michigan, the greatest city in the world. It's the Jose Aliaga Show. Jose Aliaga knows everyone. Get to know him as he interviews some of the most fascinating people from the greater Independence Township area. And now, broadcasting from the studios at Clarkston High School, the home of the state champion Wolves, here's Jose Aliaga.
Welcome to the Jose Aliaga Show. Today we have an exciting guest, someone who is well-respected, well-known, well-liked, and his popularity is growing in North Oakland County and South Oakland County, and the whole county. His name is Matt Goetz, and he's running for Oakland County Prosecutor. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing real well, Jose. I want to just thank you very much for allowing me the opportunity to sit here and have a chat with you.
It's an honor and privilege to have you here in the show. I tried for several weeks to have you here, and I know your schedule is very, very tight. You have a lot of commitments, a lot of events.
We've been pretty busy over the last year, and since the election's coming up here in November, our time schedule has increased, and we don't have a whole lot of free time. But I'm just happy that I could be here today.
Thank you. And I know a lot of people knows who Mike Goetz is, who you are. I mean, a lot of people know you, but probably some people already try to, putting a lot of emphasis on the Republican primary, I mean the nationwide presidential primary, but sure. We have another primary, we have another election on November also for the county.
Correct.
So a lot of people probably ask themselves, who is Mike Goetz?
Well, aside from the bald guy sitting next to you, I'm a father. And it was my pride and joy, my 12-year-old son, John. I'm a husband to a wonderful, beautiful woman by the name of Lynn. I'm also a career prosecutor. I've been doing this for about 28 years now. I also had the distinct opportunity, or the opportunity to be a defense attorney back in the early 90s. So not only have I got experience being a prosecutor, I was a defense attorney in early 90s for about 5 years, which gave me the opportunity, and which does today, to look at a criminal case from both sides of the fence to see where certain problems may lie, so that I can fend them off before they become a problem.
Good. Why do you want to be an Oakland County prosecutor?
Well, it's a natural transition. I've been a prosecutor pretty much my entire adult life. The one thing I want to do as a resident of Oakland County and as a family man here in Oakland County is to make Oakland County the safest county here in the state of Michigan, bar none. I want it to be a professional office. I want it to have the highest caliber of prosecutors on my staff, and I want to be able to teach them how to do things. I've tried literally hundreds of cases myself. I've dealt with thousands of victims, and what I want to do is I want to be able to impart on the younger prosecutors how to do it right, and to take victims as seriously as I do, because quite honestly, we are the voice of the victim.
I see. Mike, what qualification do you have to be a prosecutor?
Well, it started back in 1988. My very first job as a prosecutor was with the Lapeer County Prosecutor's Office. I did that for 2 years, and then I decided I wanted to try defense work. Mm-hmm. So I was a criminal defense attorney from 1990 to 1995. Mm-hmm. From there, I became an assistant prosecutor in Shiawassee County. And then I was fortunate enough to be a major crimes prosecutor in Oakland County, where I tried homicides, armed robberies, carjackings, you name it. I've tried it. I've done my best to protect the people of various counties in the state of Michigan, but also the people of Oakland County. I wanted to make it the safest place, not only to live, but to work and to play for everybody that comes through Oakland County.
I see. What makes you the better candidate to be our next prosecutor?
I use an analogy. I've had several people ask me that question, and the analogy that I use is that of a cardiologist. Let's say, for the sake of argument, Jose, You have a heart attack, you go to the hospital, and you need open heart surgery. My question to people is, are you going to go to a heart doctor, a cardiologist, or are you going to go to a dermatologist? Well, they each passed their medical boards. They're both certified doctors, but who are you going to go to? And the simple answer is you're going to go to the heart doctor. And why is that? Because that's the person that has the experience, has the training, and has done those procedures 1,000 times. You want to get it, and you want to get it right the first time. So I'm the cardiologist when it comes to prosecution. My opponent, to the best of my knowledge, has never tried a jury trial while in office over the last 7 years, nor has she ever tried a jury trial as an attorney. Now, she was a judge for 30 plus years, and judges are very important. But I kind of liken this to the referee on a football field. You know, it would be like a referee taking off the striped shirt, putting on the shoulder pads, putting on all the pads and getting on the line. What's going to happen is that referee is now going to get mowed down because they don't know how to play the game. They haven't been trained to play the game. They haven't been trained to recognize different defenses. And that's what separates me apart from the current administration, is that I personally have been in the courtroom as a foot soldier, and I've tried cases, and I've protected victims in Oakland County for many, many years.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned earlier that you are also a part-time firefighter.
I am. In addition to my day job of being a career prosecutor and my campaign for Oakland County Prosecutor, when I turned 50 years old, I decided to become a part-time firefighter, emergency medical technician for Orion Township. It's something that I had always wanted to do. When I was 12 years old, my father passed away in my home, and I was helpless. There was nothing I could do to help at that point in time. And I vowed to myself that I would never be helpless again. And when I saw an opportunity to help people that need help, and they don't need it tomorrow, they don't need it a week from now, they need it now. I mean, my pager will go off at 3 o'clock in the morning, there's a CPR in progress, or somebody's child is not responsive, or there's a structure fire. So when I hit 50, I went through the medical training to become a licensed emergency medical technician, and I went through the training to become a certified firefighter 1 and 2. And ever since that, I've been on the department now for about 2.5 years, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Mm-hmm. So what can you do as a prosecutor to save the taxpayer money and improve the office?
Well, one of the things as far as improving the office is to bring the morale up of the assistants that work there. Mm-hmm. Congressman Mike Bishop ran about 4 years ago for this very same spot. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that he talked about was how poor the morale was in the Oakland County Prosecutor's office. I recently had an opportunity to speak with somebody that was in that office that had just left. And they basically told me that the morale in that office is the lowest that they've ever seen. So my first task and my first duty is to change things, to treat those people as professionals, the professionals that they are. As far as what I can do to make the office better, one of the things I want to do, and it's tied into kind of an economic factor, is I would like to explore the opportunity to make it a paperless office, and by that I mean going to digital media. Right now, that office goes through reams and reams and reams of paper and pencils and things you don't really think about until you factor in over the course of a year. You can have hundreds of thousands of pages of paper, where if you were to put that on digital media, that's something that could be transferred. It also assists the office when what we do is when a defense attorney is going to represent a client, they ask us for what's called discovery. It's nothing more than the information that we currently have, that tells about the case. Well, instead of Xeroxing things and making mounds of paper to send over the U.S. Postal Service, what we could do is either reduce it down to a compact disc, a flash drive, or more importantly, if I can set up a website, a secure website where the defense attorney can access that, they can download it right from the prosecutor's office without shedding 1 ounce of paper. And I think that will, in the long run, I think that shows fiscal responsibility, is trying to save the county as much funding by getting rid of waste and things that are unnecessary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in Surprise currently we don't have that. So if you were the prosecutor now, what would you do to strengthen the prosecutor office, to make it stronger?
one of the things, by way of a little bit of background, I worked for the current prosecutor for 5 years.
Okay.
And the current prosecutor is essentially a politician. And when I was there, I saw certain things happening that I really didn't care for because I thought it was taking away from the strength of that office. One of the things that I plan on doing is reinstituting a training program for the assistant prosecutors. That's something that they've not had a consistent training program since the current prosecutor took office. There is plenty of free training that is offered by the state of Michigan through the Prosecutors Association of Michigan. There is a wealth of knowledge and information that is in-house by the more senior staff, the senior assistant prosecutors, that can have classes once a month, continuing education classes that everyone will be required to go to keep everybody abreast of the changes in the law. You know, they call it the practice of law, and the reason is you never get it right. And the reason you never get it right is because the law is always changing. And it's extremely important for the assistants in Oakland County to make sure that they are up to date on the current trends in the law, the current law as it stands, and it gives an opportunity for them to ask questions to more senior people, in which in turn it makes them a better prosecutor, quite frankly.
Mike, what is your position on the drug treatment court, veterans court, and mental health court?
When the current prosecutor took over back in 2009, the first thing she did was she took that away from the Oakland County Prosecutor's Office. The assistants were no longer allowed to participate. I'm a big proponent of it. I'm about as tough as you will find a prosecutor anywhere in the state of Michigan, anywhere in the country. I've tried hundreds of cases. I recognize, however, though, that we've got a demon amongst us, and it's not only amongst the peers like you and I, but kids as well, who have gotten into drugs, who have gotten into alcohol, or maybe they have some type of mental illness. And I've got an example. I know an individual here in Oakland County. He's an elected official. And he reached out to the Oakland County Prosecutor, and for one reason or another, the Oakland County Prosecutor did not reach back to him. So he reached out to me. His son was in Afghanistan. He came back home. He had been injured, and they had him on all sorts of pain medications. And when he got to the United States, unfortunately, like many veterans, he decided to start using illegal drugs to self-medicate himself. The long and the short of it is, his son passed away, and he wanted to bring to the current prosecutor the benefits of the Veterans Treatment Court to help our veterans who have served their country, who have gone over to Iran and Iraq and Afghanistan, who have seen things that nobody should have to see, who have done things that nobody should have to do. And then all of a sudden we say, thank you for your service, you're now back in the United States, now you've got to fall back into the fold of everybody else. What happens is, sometimes they falter and they make mistakes. I want to be able to give those veterans an opportunity to redeem themselves, to show the courts, to show the prosecutor's office, and to show society that, look, this was an aberration. It was an isolated incident. Let me prove to you that I can do better. And in the same token, if I have a drug addiction, I can have the court help me by obtaining drug treatment or mental health treatment. And if I successfully do that, then maybe I can get away without having a criminal conviction on my record. Now let me just put a caveat to that by saying that's not going to apply to violent crimes, okay? If it's a violent crime, I am going to prosecute those as vigorous as I would any other crimes. My biggest job, and all the jobs of the assistant prosecutors at Oakland County, is number one, the protection of the victim.
It's very important.
It is very important.
Very important, and that's many of the issues that a lot of people in Oakland County is dealing with, and we want a strong leadership to be able to solve those problems.
Absolutely. I mean, it's one of these things, it's really easy to say, look, just throw them in jail and throw away the key. What you're doing is you're putting a Band-Aid on a gaping wound. You're not solving any problems.
Right.
If we can get in there and solve the problem of drug addiction or mental health and get people treatment, then hopefully we're not going to have to see those people in the criminal justice system again.
Right, absolutely. So Obviously, you have many endorsements. Can you tell us some of your endorsements? Maybe people want to know, you know?
Well, the biggest endorsement that I have to date is L. Brooks Patterson, the chief, the county executive. He has graced me with his endorsement for the position of Oakland County Prosecutor. I have the endorsement of Congressman Mike Bishop, the individual who ran last time for the prosecutor's job and is now a U.S. Congressman. I have several members of the Board of Commissioners here in Oakland County that have endorsed me. Mike Gingell, the chair of the Oakland County Board of Commissioners. Michael Spitz, he's endorsed me. Bob Hoffman has endorsed me. I have numerous, Dr. Dragovic, the chief medical examiner here in Oakland County, has endorsed me. I've received endorsements from many attorneys that have told me, essentially, I'm going to endorse you. And it's both Republicans and Democrats, because it's time for a change. There needs to be a change in that office.
Well, you know, probably some people want to know more about you and more than the person. What do you do for fun or any hobby besides politics? I know you have the passion, you're a good candidate. But tell us a little bit more about you and your personal. What do you do for fun?
Well, I'll tell you.
Let's change it a little bit.
I tell people I'm probably one of the most boring people in the world because I actually love spending time with my family. I've got my 12-year-old son. We go to a movie, we go bowling, we do whatever. We go to spend time with my wife. But I've also got two 90-pound Labrador retrievers that actually think they're lap dogs. So in the morning, they greet me by both laying down on my chest and licking my face until I wake up. I don't do anything crazy. I like going to sporting events. I like spending time with my son, going for bike rides, what have you. But I like to get out into the community and do things. I like to take an active part. And that's kind of how I spend my time. It's kind of how I relax, if you will. And it's going to sound crazy, but also the fire department is kind of, I don't want to use the term hobby because it's a very serious thing, but it's, I make very difficult decisions all day long. Whereas when I'm on the fire department, we've got a certain command staff. They say, go do this, I go do it. And something, I just recently got my first CPR save. It was a 19-year-old kid who went into cardiac arrest. We performed CPR, got him to the hospital, and he actually survived. And as a matter of fact, later on this month, I'm getting a certificate and of recognition and a pin, along with the other members from my crew, by the Oakland County Medical Control at the health department in Pontiac.
Oh, wow!
So I got a lot of irons in the fire.
Yeah, you do. Well, you see, since we still have a time, and I enjoy talking with you. And
absolutely.
Probably people watching right now, they say, "Wow, this is very impressive. Everything you've done." Now, a lot of people right now are paying a lot of attention about what's going on in the Republican primary for the presidential primary. So now it's coming down with 4 candidates.
Sure.
Yeah, we have Mr. Donald Trump, Senator Ted Cruz from Texas, Florida Senator Marco Rubio, and Ohio Governor John Kasich.
Yes.
So what do you think about those guys?
Well, quite honestly, I think any one of them would make a fine president. The office of president, in my opinion, is not just the person that's sitting at the top, but it's the caliber of people that you surround yourself with. And obviously, Mr. Trump has the business acumen. He's surrounded himself with terrific people in the business world, so he'll bring a lot to the economic development of the United States. Senator Cruz and Senator Rubio, they both have the experience of government in the federal system that they can bring to the table. Once, likewise, being able to surround yourself with good people. And John Kasich, the governor of Ohio. I mean, he is used to running a small country of his own, if you will, the state of Ohio.
Of course.
And in order to do that, you need to have good people in place. If you don't, everything's going to falter. So quite frankly, any one of those candidates, I think, could do very well as president of the United States. I think what's important from the standpoint of the Republican Party is concerned is that whomever is nominated by the Republican Party to be president, I think the Republican Party has to get behind that person and support that person to the best that they can. because otherwise is you're not taking advantage of your civic duty, your civic privilege of being able to vote, and it's our duty, it's our responsibility to pick the person who we believe is the correct person to run our country to the best that they can, so that it makes all of our lives even better. And I like to see the fact that we've got two presidential candidates with Hispanic descent. I think that's a large tribute, to the way that our system is going.
Right. And what do you think about the Democratic candidates, Secretary Hillary Clinton and Senator Bernie Sanders?
Quite frankly, I think the Democrats could have chosen much better candidates. I'm not going to say anything negative about either one of them. I just think that their platforms, what they're espousing, is not in line with the best interests of the American people, regardless of whether you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, whomever. What we need is somebody that's going to take everybody's position and try to make it better for all of us. It's not a matter of giving free handouts to people. The children of today have learned more of an entitlement mentality than when I was a kid or when you were a kid. I've been working since I was 12 years old. And unfortunately, that work ethic has changed a little bit in the last 40 years. So I think we need somebody that's strong. We need strong leadership that's going to be able to have a strong foreign policy. We need somebody that's going to be strong here domestically to be able to handle the crises that occur, and somebody that will be able to stimulate jobs and generate the economy to the point where we can get off the curve that we've been on since approximately 2008.
True. This election is very, very important. And your election is the same election on November, the presidential election, correct?
Correct. It is, correct. I believe it's November 8th of this year.
Is it some people that have some questions and want to be in contact with you? How people can reach you? You have a website, Facebook, Twitter?
I absolutely do, and I got to admit, I'm not really adept at using those. But folks, if they want to, they can go to www.votemikegetz.com. That's VOTEMIKEGOETZ. Yeah, it's right there on the screen.
All right, it's votemikegetz.com.
Right. You can get me on Facebook at elect Mike Goetz, Oakland County Prosecutor, or just type in my name, Mike Goetz. And quite frankly, I put on all my literature my direct cell phone number, and I'm going to give it to the folks out here. It's 248-379-4588. I would encourage anybody that if you've got a question about me running for prosecutor or the prosecutor's office at all, give me a call. I may not be able to answer your call right there, but leave a message. I will return that call. And that's one of the problems that I've heard with the current administration is not returning phone calls. I will return every phone call that I'm given. Once again, that's 248-379-4588.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's my pleasure to be here, Jose.
I'm very glad you came and tell us more about you, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people got more educated about the position of prosecutor, because during the couple of weeks people were telling me what the duties of prosecutor are, and you actually clarified today and tell us what is the job.
The biggest thing is, you vote for president, you vote for senators, you vote for congressmen. Chances are you're never going to come in contact with them. But if you're a victim in Oakland County, you by golly are going to come in contact with the Oakland County Prosecutor's Office, and you want to make darn sure that you've got the best representation, the best highly trained individuals in that office that can give you a voice to the courts and let your voice be heard.
Right. It's true. It's true. People are more in contact with you because you see all the issues every day.
We deal with thousands of victims. And I just want to, on the converse side of the coin is, if you commit a crime in Oakland County, you're darn well going to bet you're going to be prosecuted.
Yes. Well, thank you, Mike. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Jose. I very much appreciate the time.
Absolutely. Well, that was all for today. If you want to be in the Jose Aliaga Show, you can contact us through Facebook or through my number. The Facebook page is the Jose Aliaga Show. You can like us. And then thank you so much, by the way, for all the likes that we're getting in the last couple of weeks. We're having so many likes in the show. I appreciate that you guys watching the show. And if you want to be in the show again, you can contact us on the Facebook page, the Jose Aliaga Show, or you can call us at 248-736-7163. 248-736-7163. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Bye-bye.